Welcome back. Now, it turns out that I owe every single flat earther on the planet an apology. Who'd have thunk it? I am so sorry. You see, originally it was Einstein who said, "We have been endowed with just enough intelligence to be able to see clearly just how utterly inadequate that intelligence is when confronted with what exists." In other words, humans just aren't very clever. And as if to prove that exact point, flat earthers sprang out of the woodwork ready to say things like this.
If you were travelling from Scotland down to London on a ball, it would be downhill all the way. You wouldn't need to put any petrol in your car. You just use your brakes.
And it doesn't stop there. You see, flat earthers have fought so very hard to prove what Einstein said, that we're not very clever, and they've done an amazing job at it. And in today's video, we're going to look at some of flat Earth's finest on their scientific adventures. But first, let's just refresh ourselves with the flat Earth line of questioning. For example, how they might see gravity.
Now this oil that I'm adding is olive oil, and the oil before was just vegetable oil. This proves that gravity is total BS.
So why do you need gravity? Like when you burn an incense stick, why does the smoke go up if there is a force putting everything down?
You might be saying, that guy, why would they even invent gravity then?
Gravity isn't a force! Gravity is a force.
That's not gravity.
Well, are these flames defying gravity by going up?
There we go. Now, somebody wise did once tell me that there's no such thing as a stupid question, just stupid answers. Well, in this video, we are going to see both stupid questions and stupid answers. Thank you to our Flat Earth research team for that. Now, if you're new to the channel, I think you've probably sussed out from the beginning of this video exactly what my content is going to be like. So either you're going to have had enough already, or you're going to have hit the subscribe button. It's entirely up to you. But for now, let's dive straight into the scientific void that is the mind of one of Flat Earth's finest. Phuket word.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. This fan will demonstrate for us how we can see the stars appearing to rotate in different directions depending on where we are on a level Earth.
Yes, we are going to be tackling star trails. Now, this lovely panoramic image was taken at the equator, and when we look north, we can see a star trail rotating in the counterclockwise direction, and when we look south, we can see it rotating clockwise. Now, the presence of these star trails are obviously easily explained by a spinning globe Earth, and it's a real problem for flat earthers. I mean, flat earthers obviously have a few problems, one of them being star trails, another one being, what do all these buttons mean on a calculator, But still, let's focus on the star trails and see how Phuket word explains those away.
So here I've got some arrows on this blade, and we'll see that they're pointing this direction. So if I turn this clockwise, basically the arrows have come in from the left, okay, and they're going off to the right.
Okay, so he's talking about clockwise rotation here, so obviously his fan here is mimicking looking south. And what he's not going to do, I think we all know what he's not going to do here. What he's not going to do is confuse clockwise with meaning left to right, because obviously not even a flat earther would dare to do that. Surely.
Okay, so that's how we would see the stars appearing to us in one particular spot on the Earth. But then if we moved, and we're now looking at another portion of this, a different portion of the sky, we'll go down here, and we continue turning it clockwise, okay, and as these arrows come in, they're now coming in from the right and going off to the left, okay?
Yes, so basically still clockwise, still looking in the same direction. Something tells me he's not going to get it, so let's just skip to that bit, shall we?
You'll see that as we go up here, we then get this change where now that we're looking at this upper portion of the sky, it's going from left to right. And as we follow it around, we'll see that it ends up going from right to left. Yeah, it's really simple. Okay, that's basically what is happening when we look at the stars from a particular place on Earth.
Catz word there, showing us that science can be so simple if you don't care whether you get it right or not. Here's another example.
So once the apple falls from the tree, yeah, gravity hits the water. Now it's in a state of levity. There is no force pulling it down.
Nothing like a bit of denial, is there? Now, if you were left feeling somewhat underwhelmed by Catz word's explanation of star trails rotating in different directions, then I have hunted down for you a much more detailed and thorough explanation, and it has nothing to do with fans spinning. I can promise you that. It is far more complicated. Nothing to do with fans at all.
I'm going to explain today how when you look north to the North Star, the star trails around Polaris are going counterclockwise, and when you look south to Sigma Octantis, the stars are going clockwise.
He obviously already understands the problem far better than Catz word. This will not go wrong in any way, shape or form, and it's nothing to do with fans. Nothing.
Well, this is how we explain it, okay? Basically, you have to know what corpuscular and anti-corpuscular means. Corpuscular rays of the sun means they're diverging and it's parallel.
You see, it's to do with those diverging parallel rays. Obviously, diverging by definition means they can't be parallel, but this is flat earth science and it's to do with those diverging parallel rays. Get over it.
The sun rises in the east and those same parallel rays will converge at the west. It's anti-corpuscular, converging.
Yes, and these parallel rays, which by definition can't be diverging, are diverging until the point where these parallel rays become converging. So simple.
Well, that's because on this flat Earth, when this is at the equator looking east, you look to the northeast and you'll see obviously the counterclockwise. You look to the southeast and you'll see clockwise. Or actually, you look south, you look east, north. Here's the point.
Okay, his explanation there might not have been the best. We'll give him another shot in a second, but the main thing to realise is he is not going to start talking about a spinning fan and things going left to right and right to left. He's not going to do exactly what Catz word did. This is obviously far more advanced. Nothing to do with the fan. Let's give him another chance.
If you have a ceiling fan, it's going like this, but if you look like that, it looks like it's going left to right. Instead of up here, it's going right to left.
Mass is identical to weight, but this weight is space weight.
Amazing stuff, well said. Now, let's move on.
This is an orange.
Yes, that is an orange. But what is that little round thing it's holding, and what is he going to do with it?
This is an orange. We're going to use this for the science experiment today.
Yeah, you're about to see one of the most confused demonstrations I've ever seen in my entire life. It is quite fantastical. He starts off by explaining to us that only by increasing the mass of an orange will it fall to the ground. And maybe, just maybe, if you decrease the mass of an orange, it might fly into the air.
While gravity says that if you increase the mass, it will accelerate towards the ground. But what happens if we decrease the mass? Should it mean it has more of a buoyant force acting upon it from the other side, which would cause it to go up?
Okay, so the scene is set. Can we make an orange fly by reducing its mass? I think is where he's going.
This is going to be an interesting experiment. Let's do this. This is the orange. Let's submerge it in the water. As you can see, it is floating.
Okay, so we've all done this experiment at primary school when we were about 8 years old, and we all understood even back then that the orange peel was acting as like some kind of armband. There is air trapped by the orange peel, and therefore the density of the orange overall is reduced and it floats, and you take the peel off and then suddenly the density of the orange is higher than the water and it will sink. Nice little demonstration, okay? Nothing to be confused about here at all. Unless, of course, you are a flat earther, in which case you would recognise that the peel adds mass to the orange, so therefore it's heaviest with the peel on, and it should sink, and you might get incredibly confused as to why it doesn't.
This is a bit counterintuitive, as you would think this is the structure where it has the most mass.
So now it's time to ask the important question.
What do you think will happen when we remove the peel, which is removing the mass?
Yes, when we remove the peel and the mass of the orange shrinks, will the orange take off and fly? We all want to know the answer to that question. I'm on tenterhooks.
Oh boy, we already see an issue. It seems to have some. So this doesn't show a great result for gravity, does it?
Now, I, for one, am quite shocked the orange didn't take off and fly, but I suppose in retrospect, what we saw there was exactly what we would expect to see, given what we understand about gravity and density and buoyancy. However, Flatzoid, the flat earther in question here, decided that he's going to draw an altogether different conclusion.
What did we observe? Mass does not attract mass. So what does this mean? Gravity does not exist.
Well, that experiment has turned my worldview upside down. It's left me with two very big questions. Question one is, why would they even invent gravity then? And question two is, what about mass? What is this shit about mass?
You might be saying, that guy, why would they even invent gravity then? Why is there mass? What is this shit about mass?
So there we have it. I will apologise to all the flat earthers out there because they really, really have done a fantastic job in proving Einstein right, that we really aren't very clever. Now, a little bit of self-reflection for no reason. Last week, I made a really bad video. If you're new to the channel, you can check it out. It was rubbish. This week started off a little bit stronger and then it dipped towards the end because I struggled with balancing the audio for Flatzoid's clip, and really I kind of ran out of time making it, so it kind of dipped off. So I hope that you're not watching at this point and you did watch the beginning maybe twice, maybe subscribe then. Or maybe go back and watch the beginning again so you forget the second half of the video was that bad. And maybe next week I'll make a decent video. I'm on an upward trend. I'm going to give myself a bit more time next week. Yeah, that's that. Okay, bye-bye.